I can't really hear the guitar that well.
Can we bring the guitar up in the monitor?
In the monitors? Cool. Yeah, that sounds good.
Please give a nice warm welcome to Bryant Looper.
Good to see everybody. Thank y'all for coming out. Okay, so my name is Bryant Looper. I am from here and there, but mostly here. Atlanta, born and raised, Georgia boy. And the big $1 million question I've been asking myself for the last month is, what do I play first? That's the big question. Because I might only play one song. So after looking at my list of songs, I decided, you know what? I'm going to play the song I wrote 2 weeks ago. So if you'll indulge, well, technically I wrote it on July 10th, so about 2.5 weeks ago. Normally I would just shut up and sing, and I promise I will eventually, but if you'll indulge me, I might only get to play one song. So I got to tell a quick story of how this song came to be. Because about a little over 2 weeks ago, my mom invited me to go to Marble Hill, Georgia to celebrate my grandfather's 93rd birthday. Anybody know where Marble Hill, Georgia is? Bullshit, you don't know where Marble Hill, Georgia is. I've been here my whole life, I don't know where that sounds from. The way to get there is you go north, past Marietta, past Canton, past Woodstock, past Civilization, and then you get to Marble Hill, Georgia. That's where my grandfather David lived. So we went up there a couple weeks ago, and she said, Pop, you're turning 93, I'm going to take you anywhere you want to go. And he said, I want to go to the Huddle House. That's where we went. And he ordered surf and turf. Did you know that the Huddle House sells surf and turf? They do. And he ate the hell out of it. I'll take the surf and turf. So anyway, one of the funnier parts in the night was at one point he looked at my sister Bonnie. He started getting a little emotional. And he looked at my sister Bonnie and he said, you look just like my wife. And without hesitation, my aunt, who was also there, said, which wife? She's an interesting person. And my grandfather, he's an interesting person too. Anyway, towards the end of the night, my mom said, hey Pop, why don't you tell everybody that story about that time when you got stuck on a train? And I perked up. I said, you got stuck on a train? And he perked up. And he proceeded us to tell us a story about how in 1951, when he was in the ROTC at the University of Oklahoma, he was on a train with the rest of the ROTC boys headed north to Omaha, Nebraska, and then west to California. And while he was on that train, he wrote a love letter to his sweetheart, Barbara, my grandmother. Now, Barbara's passed on, but Pop is still ticking. They obviously got married, so it must have been one hell of a letter. But when they got to Omaha, Nebraska, he asked the conductor, how much time we got? He said, 30 minutes or so. So he went and mailed that letter thinking he had time. But when he got back, the train, it was gone. But he could see it. And he said, I can make it. And he made it already. The only problem is, by the time he showed up and the train was picking up steam, he only was able to grab onto the last caboose. And there was no doors, there was no ladder, there was no way to get around. So he just clung on to that thing for 8 hours. So the name of this song that I wrote about 2 weeks ago is called Pop's Second Letter. And it goes like this. Dear Barbara, I wrote a letter that by now you've received, that spoke of your beauty and how much you mean to me. But my darling, what you can't know is what that letter cost me. Much more than a stamp. It cost me my peace. Because by the time I mailed it at the station and in the pouring rain, my true love, my future wife, for you, I almost missed my train. That goddamn conductor, he reassured me that we'd be there for an hour or 30 minutes at least. Western Union was 2 miles away, but I happily ran to deliver you all of love's promises, because I'm your dream man, yeah. But that train was a speck on the horizon when I finally returned. Oh, and my heart sank, and my blood poured, and my muscles, they burned. Oh, but I caught it just in the nick of time. You clung on to that last caboose before the next But baby, that train and my heart rate eventually slowed down. And the engineers and that fucking conductor, they took a good look around. But I snuck back into my cabin, oh, and then I didn't move a bit. So that conductor found me and asked why I was covered in dust, soot, and shit, yeah. So I told him I had to tell the prettiest girl I'd love her till my dying day. And he just stood there, dumbfounded, and then that son of a bitch just walked away. So if you ever doubt my affections, my devotion, or my pain, know this, Miss Oklahoma, for you, I almost missed my train. Oh, I almost missed my train. Oh, and P.S. Heaven is where sinners go when they get forgiven. Heaven is where sinners go when they get forgiven. Y'all sing with me. Heaven is where sinners go when they get forgiven. You got the words louder. Heaven is where sinners go when they get forgiven. One more time. Heaven is where sinners go when they get forgiven. Thank you all so much. My name is Brian.
Brian Looper.